מה נשמע
אוקיי, אני
רות?
אגיד להם שייכנסו לפה.
חכי שנייה, שומעים? ברוך.
Yeah.
I think I need next time to start with you 20 minutes before, trying
Okay.
it on Zoom.
Sure. Let's do that.
Like instead of the WhatsApp and see if it works. Yeah. I try to enter Zoom 5 minutes before, what's the time in your time? Like before the time? Meaning
Yeah,
before
at
10
7.
in my time? Yeah, before 7, it's like basically half an hour it took me. I don't know what's changed. They said you need to download Zoom.
Weird.
And I'm in China, and in China, to be able to send a message on WhatsApp, you need to put on VPN. When you are on VPN, the connection is bad, and they don't hear you well. So when you want to take out the VPN in the middle of a Zoom, I realize it's don't work. I don't know. So now people hear me well. Not bad.
Yeah, we can hear pretty clear.
So, oh, thank you very much. Okay. Okay. So first of all, sorry for the delay. I was here also 5 minutes before 7, but I don't know. Struggling with the Zoom that I hate.
They changed something in the settings, and we didn't have I think so, and we didn't have the, I don't know. Okay, anyways, now we're here. Okay. Sorry for everybody. Here we are.
Okay. So let's start. We start Bishul Goim, right? And now I want really to learn the Siman and to bring a few also new things that are problems that start or solutions that start after the time of the Shulchan Aruch. So first of all, I will start with a small repetition of last time of Siman Kuf Yud Gimel. If somebody wants to see Shulchan Aruch Yoreh De'ah Siman Kuf Yud Gimel, in English it's 113. The Shulchan Aruch said, so Chazal told us that we're not allowed to eat things that non-Jew cooked, even if everything is kosher, because to have a reminder of not doing intermarriage. I think this was the word. And another reason that Rashi hold is because maybe by a mistake or by I don't know what, they will put you something that's not kosher for us. So when you need to turn on or do something, it will first you be around making sure all the ingredients is also kosher. This is how Rashi hold. This is the two reasons. Now, when Chazal said this law, the Shulchan Aruch said, דבר שאינו נאכל כמות שהוא חי, וגם עולה על שולחן מלכים ללפת בו את הפת או לפרפרת, שבשלו גוי, אפילו בכלי ישראל או בית ישראל, אסור משום בישול גויים. Now I will translate. The Shulchan Aruch said that we need two things to make the bishulei goyim not kosher. Two things should happen. Somebody remember? I think with this we talked last time, so I just do a small repetition and we'll continue. Somebody remember? You can say. I don't, except of Lorena and this, I don't see anybody. Somebody. Yeah. So you remember from last time what happened to make it like if a person took pickles, if a factory made a pickles of cucumber, so it's kosher or not? There is a problem of so it's just pickles, but it's just basically cucumber with salt and I don't know. So all the ingredients are kosher. So we have a problem of bishule goyim or no? So do you remember?
If I remember
the two things?
If the vessel,
you go.
the vessel that they use is not
Kosher.
kosher, but the pickle is kosher.
Again, I didn't hear you well.
But if they use the cookware, the
Cucumber
vessel,
is
that's not
kosher.
kosher. Yeah. If the
So
utensils and
let's
all
say
the
all the vessel are kosher, meaning in bishule goyim, we're talking about even if all the vessel are kosher and all the ingredients are kosher, and a non-Jew cook it, it can be not kosher because of he cook it. If some of the things are not kosher, it's not kosher not because of the bishule goyim, it's not kosher because of different thing. It have nothing to do with those laws of bishule goyim. The laws of bishule goyim said, even if a non-Jew took kosher meat, kosher vessels, cook it, there is a problem unless you did something, and this is what we will see also. But to have the problem of bishule goyim, the Shulchan Aruch said, and we learned it last week, two things should happen. First thing is this food should be okay to replace on a king table, meaning not just something that you eat cheap, something nicely, something according to most poskim, even if you can put it on Shabbat table, it's considered a problem. But if it's just very cheap or very cheap food, you will not give it to, there is no gzera. Second of all, is if the thing can there is no problem of okay. Two things that if we took all cucumber or you didn't turn on the fire or put it there. אתם פה? You hear?
You're a little
it's
bit,
a little
אתה
bit
קטוע.
choppy.
כדי לראות אנשים אתה יכול לדפדף לצד.
כן, אני רואה, אבל כמעט כולם לא באיזה, חוץ ממך עכשיו ברוך. כן. So now it's better?
Yes.
אני שומעת אותך, אבל התמונה נגיד נתקעת,
Much
ואז עוד כמה
better.
זמן שתדבר זה ייתקע.
אוקיי, אז לא להתייחס לזה, אבל but you hear.
כן.
Okay. So so I will repeat again. Two things should happen to make the problem of bishule goyim. Meaning, we know that we will talk about that. We either need to turn on the fire, or the Jew should replace the pot on the fire, right? To make it bishul Israel. The Shulchan Aruch said we will learn about that, what we need exactly to do, but to be inside the subject of bishule goyim, it should be a food that you can replace on a king table and something that you can't eat raw. Okay? So if a goy want to cook cucumbers or to make matbucha, for example, so matbucha you make from tomatoes, and tomatoes is edible raw, right? So if it's edible raw, you don't need to do anything, and it's have no problems of bishule goim. רות, אני מרגיש או שלא שומעים אותי, או שאף אחד לא פה, ונעבור נושא.
מאיזה בחינה? שלא מה?
לא יודע, או שלא משתתפים, אתה שואל, אתה לא קולט, מבינים, לא מבינים, לא יודע איפה נמצאים בכלל, לא מרגיש, לא רואה גם את האנשים, לא מבין מה הולך.
כאילו התמונות לא מחוברות, נכון.
מאוד מבין.
אותי אתה רואה?
אותך כן.
למה? אני רואה פה 3 אנשים.
ברוך וזה.
כן. Everybody is hearing,
So,
like you hear
I
Rabbi
want to
Eliahu,
understand.
you listen,
Yes,
and the people in the when
Yes.
we don't see you in the pictures.
we hear him.
We can hear.
Okay.
I will
We
be
just
very
need
happy
some
because it
feedbacks
makes it
because we don't know what's
easier
going
to see if
If you can, when he asking, give some
We can
feedback so
hear.
we know that you're listening.
No,
Rabbi, a question that I would have is when you say it's going to be something that you put at a king's table, is that, you mean it's going to be the main meal at a king's table, or could even be a side dish at the king's table?
amazing question. So, according to the Shulchan Aruch, even if it's a side or a dessert, it's a problem. It just need to be something that you can honor somebody with. And according to most poskim, don't need to be a real king, should be like what you honoring with. For example, if it's something that you will put on a table on Shabbat for your guest, it's considered Ole al Shulchan Melachim. But if it's something that you will eat, I will give you an example, guys, that I think it even has a difference between North Americans and Israelis. Now you know, if it's something that you will not honor people with, you will not put it on Shabbat table, there is no problem of Bishul Goyim at all. What do you think? Pringles, it's something that you will honor people with?
no.
No, right?
No.
No, I would say yes. You would
No.
put chips and a dip on a table. For sure, you would have Pringles and a dip on a table.
But that's
As part
food.
that's part of a side
Not
dish.
special.
The point is that it's a casual dish. So what they say when they mean the king's table, it's not literal. It just means that it's a fancy, it's a special dish. Correct, Rabbi?
I will explain more. I mean, it's a disagreement with the poskim. What is exactly mean replacing on a king table? What I understood is casual dish, but something that you will honor with. Meaning, if you can put it on Shabbat table, this is according to most poskim. If you will feel okay putting at the Shabbat table a dessert or as food or something with the food, so it's considered replacing on a king place. And when I ask that specific question about Pringles, for example, most North Americans that I talk with, they told me you will never put it on the Shabbat table. It's something that you eat when you just want to eat something when you are, I don't know, you're on the train or you on the airport, you're going somewhere. It's not something you will honor with. But in Israel, definitely you can put it on Shabbat table and honoring the people with this dessert or something, putting bisli and Pringles, it will be 100% okay in Israel. But
why?
I don't know how it's exactly. What if?
Is it because it's
What?
not is imported or something that people would normally not have on Shabbat? So
In
you're serving
Israel,
something different.
this is my feeling in Israel, that it's considered something you can honor and with, you can put it on Shabbat table as a dessert. This is where I saw.
They put like Doritos, they put on Shulchan Shabbat. It's like another snacks for every culture, I know.
So I guess it's a cultural thing.
Maybe
Yeah,
you could
those
tell us,
things,
Rabbi.
even halachically. So I can say just the halachically point, but the fact point you can know better than me. Meaning, the halacha point, and this is what I'm trying to teach, and after that you need to use your brain, is the halacha point said, if this thing, you will not replace it on a king table, and now I am saying, according to most poskim, king table means, for example, Shabbat table, when you have guests. If you will not replace it on as a dish or as a side dish or even as a dessert to honor people, there is no problem of bishulei goim by that. Now, this is the halacha. After that, it will change every dish and every place culture. Okay? If in some country, for example, rice can be very cheap dish and nobody will honor with rice, so rice will considered not replacing on a king table, and you will not have a problem if a goy will cook it. But if in one country rice will considered can be even very expensive and nice and fancy, so it will have a problem of bishulei goim, and you will need to turn on the fire, or what the solution we will talk. Okay? Now, Pringles, I just don't know. You need to know your culture, your place, if you feel that it's something that, I can tell you that I talked with OU a few years ago, and they told me that that is not considered something that you will place on a king table, so they're relying on that and other opinions, and they're not doing Bishul Israel for that. This is what I remember from a few years ago, from the time of the yeshiva. I call them. But again, I said it depends on the places. So this is the first thing. The second thing is, if a goy cooked something that are edible raw, there is no problem of bishulei goim at all. You want to give me an example of something that is edible raw and you can make a dish with that?
Salad?
Somebody?
Salad?
Tomatoes.
Yeah, but you cook salad? What?
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
Yeah, 100%. This is I think amazing example. Tomatoes, you can eat tomato raw, and you can cook tomato and make matbucha, for example. Okay? So now, if a goy want to make matbucha, there is no problem. You don't need to turn on the fire. You don't need to do anything, because it's not something that it's something that edible raw. And Chazal didn't say there is a problem if it can be edible raw. The cook not considered an important thing in this process or something like that, and we do not have a problem of bishulei goim. So I repeat again, to have a problem of bishulei goim, it should be something that not edible raw, and you can replace on a king table. If we don't have those two things, we have nothing to do with bishulei goim. So if all the ingredients are kosher, is no problem if a goy cooked that. Okay?
Yeah.
Somebody has a question about that?
No, all good.
Oh, good. Now I'll go to another detail. The Shulchan Aruch said if a goy cook something that is mixed, okay? And now I will ask you, according to the laws you learned, if a goy wants to cook tomatoes, do you do anything, or everything is kosher, is okay? I don't hear you.
What
What?
the question?
You're unmuted now.
Yeah, everything's okay. If you're cooking
if-
tomatoes, everything's fine.
Everything is fine. Why? Because it's edible raw. If he wants to
Yes.
cook cabbage, also yes. If he wants to cook, which examples I have? Carrots and
Fish.
all those kind of things that are edible raw. What?
I said fish, like sashimi. You have sashimi and you have fish, like when you cook it.
Fish, I want to skip it because it's a more new thing, a new thing, and some people will say, I don't know, it depends where we will talk, but I do think that if in places that it's considered normally eating it raw, so also it will have no problem. Yes. So now if a goy cook a soup with cabbage, carrots, onion is also edible raw, and potatoes. Now, potatoes is not edible raw, correct? I never heard about a place they eat potatoes raw even. It's something that you will feel it's not edible raw. Now he cooked few ingredients that are edible raw with something that's not edible raw. He mixed. And he cooked it, you forgot to turn on the fire. Now the question is if it's okay or not. So the Shulchan Aruch said, עירב דבר הנאכל כמות שהוא חי, אם דבר שאינו נאכל כמות שהוא חי, אם העיקר מדבר שיש בו משום בישולי גויים אסור, ואם לאו מותר. So the Shulchan Aruch said, this is the Rabbanan. It's not like you mixed, now I'm telling you, it's not like you make not kosher with a kosher thing. It's not like you put pig inside. If the, איך אומרים עיקר? ערות.
You mean the main thing?
Maybe is the word, yeah. If the main dish, for example, if the goy cooked cabbage soup, this is the main thing, the cabbage, and he also put a little bit of potatoes, I don't know, okay? And the main dish is the cabbage. The main dish is something that are edible raw. So all the dish is okay, even if he made everything. Again, inside all the ingredients should be kosher in the vessels. But even if you didn't turn on the fire, you didn't do anything, because the main dish is edible raw, even if he mixed few things that are not edible raw, everything is okay. It's understood.
But what did you consider? What did you consider is the main dish? You said it's tomatoes, potatoes, onions, and carrots. So what's the main dish?
I will give you the law, and you will help me, and you will find any example you think is the correct one. You should find a dish that the main dish is something that edible raw, and you mix few things inside that are not edible raw, but the main dish is edible raw. Do you have any idea of a dish?
Pasta sauce.
Like a vegetable soup?
This is what I think. Vegetable soup with what? You should find few things that are not edible raw, and they are not the main thing inside.
There could be like some
example.
potatoes. There could be some potatoes, but everything else is, or you
Yeah,
could put
this
like,
is what I thought too.
yeah, everything else is
How about-
cabbage, carrots, whatever.
How about
This is what
pasta meat sauce? Pasta is tomatoes
Again?
mainly. Pasta
But you-
sauce with
But you
meat.
don't eat pasta raw.
But if you mix it with
Pasta.
meat,
Pasta.
Don't eat meat
Oh,
either.
pasta.
that's what I'm saying.
Pasta itself
The
is a
main-
problem, and also meat. I think that when there is meat, most of the time I think when there is meat make it the main thing. But meat is
Yes, I agree.
definitely something that's not edible raw normally. So I think a good example, but
Still a
I'm telling
question
you the law, and after that you can find in any situation, from the rule you can understand any situation. The rule is, if most of the dish, if not most, if the main dish is something that's edible raw, and you mixed few things that are not edible raw, even if a guy cook it, no problem. We're going by the main dish. Okay, even if there is no 160, this is important to know. It's not like a non-kosher thing that you need 160 or something like that. If you just need the main dish, even if you have a lot of potato, much more than 160. If the main dish is cabbage, for example, cabbage, carrots, how to say, tomatoes, and I don't know, any other example you have, we're going by the main dish. Okay? Correct? People understood? You got me?
Rabbi, you mean the main ingredient is potatoes?
Yes. If the main ingredient is potatoes, you need to know your dish and the country you live in and the situation. This is not something the halakha, that the Torah will say. The Torah said the law. Chazal said the law. Chazal said, if the main dish in the dish you talks about is something that's edible raw, and you mix it with something that's not edible raw, we're going by the main dish. and it's kosher, even if you didn't turn on the fire and it didn't do anything, and the goy did everything. I just give an example that I made up right now. A soup, a vegetable soup that has a little bit of potato inside, and the main soup is cabbage, because by side I like cabbage when it's cooked. Okay, but you can find up any, you can change it to any dish you want. You know what I mean? Any country with any dish you have in your mind. We good?
Yes.
Yeah. Now another thing is it means that to have the problem of bishule goim, the goy need to have an attention of cooking. If the goy didn't plan to cook, he thought to do a different thing, and by a mistake he cooked, there is no problem. The example the Gemara gives is a person, a goy, wanted to do a fire in a place, I don't know, in a forest, to make a place for cows to eat. You know what I mean? What they do in Amazon. So he turned on fire at the place because he just want to clear the place, you know, to open space for animals after that. And by a side thing, many locks, how do you say, chagavim? Chagavim again? Somebody remember chagavim? Locust. Thank you very much. Many locusts were killed, or I don't know, cooked by this fire. They were there at the forest, and he turned on the forest, and now you find locusts that are cooked or roasted. I don't know how to say it. So the goy cook it 100%, and we're talking about a place that locusts are considered tasty and going in the you can bring it to a, like, you can put it on the plate king. You can replace it at the king table. Example, I think, is Yemen. Places that they think is very tasty. Here at the east, now I'm in China and Thailand, those areas, they're eating some things they think is very expensive and very tasty, and for us it's disgusting. Then the goy cook it because he didn't have in his mind the attention of cooking. There is no problem of goy cooking, okay? And you can take it to any other situation you will see. Another example of a situation is the goy turn on the fire because he wants to, you know how they make, how to say chemar, when you make a kadim and those things.
Maybe clay,
Somebody,
but I'm not sure.
you know?
Like a clay pot.
Clay, like you made vessels from it. It's like a, I don't know.
I mean, like pottery.
Like what?
Pottery? Like clay vessels.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So when you want to make clay vessels, you need to put them after that in the oven. You know what I mean? So let's say you put piece of meat in the oven, I don't know, and you didn't turn on the oven, and a goy came and he put his vessel that is, is not ready yet. Yeah. He put it in the oven and he turned on the oven because he wanted to make his vessel good. He didn't have in his mind to cook, but by byproduct, at the end, your meat was cooked. So in that cases, there is no problem. Again, to have a problem of bishule goim, the goy need to have an attention of cooking, and replace it, and not
Sorry, Rabbi, you're cutting off.
We can't hear anything.
The main dish is something that are, Yeah. We good? Another.
I'm good now.
I have a question. If you can hear me, I have a question for you.
Yes.
You're only speaking about when a non-Jewish person is cooking. Are you drawing a distinction between cooking and other forms of heating the food? Like, is it only cooking, or does cooking include frying, baking, boiling, barbecuing? Is it all of those things, or just cooking?
So maybe I like your order of things. I thought to talk about that. The Shulchan Aruch put it at the end, but I think it's a correct place to put it. So I will jump to it right now and I will talk about it. So yes, there is some differences, but not about the example you said. Frying, cooking, roasting, all those considered cooking halachically. But there is a few things that normally halachically considered cooking, but here they are not. I will give you the examples. Salting, halachically in other places, considered cooking. Okay? If you salt a non-kosher meat with a kosher meat, it has an halacha of was cooking or something like that. So salting in a Bishul goyim is not considered cooking. If a goy salts something, even if before it was salted, it was not edible, and after it was salted, it's edible, it's okay. There is some fish and some recipes of salting the thing and it's make it like edible, even for meat and stuff like that. I heard, when I'm checking up the chuvot, you can see like hundreds of years, generations, questions that rabbis got about that, and you see how recipes are changing from place to place and from generation to generation in a very huge difference what they like to eat. Another thing is, you hear me? Because most of you, I see you stuck. You hear me? Okay. Another thing is smoking. For example, smoking salmon or smoking meat or stuff like that. In halacha, in many places, smoking considered cooking. But here, in Bishul goyim, smoking not considered cooking. So if the goy smoked meat and he made it edible for eat, there is no problem of Bishul goyim at all. Okay? Very good question.
Is it because the halakha is based on the actual fire, like the heat, an active heat cooking the food, versus like smoking, salting, there's no fire. Is that where it's based on?
It's a good question. It's something that's not 100% clear. There is disagreement about that, but I will try to make it what is clear for everyone. The clear for everyone is that Chazal talks about cooking and even things that does have fire, like smoking can have fire. But they talk about what was normal cooking in their times. And we have a law about those kind of things that when Chazal make a fence, okay, they made a fence. They have their reasons, and we are not changing it. But we also not adding to it. They talked just about cooking, frying, roasting. They didn't say there is a problem with smoking, that it was a different way of cooking at that time at all, I think even today. So the rabbis after that says, look, they didn't say it's a problem. The Torah didn't say it's a problem. It's not a problem. And we are not adding more problems. With electricity, it's a different question. Nowadays, if you cook with electricity, some understood like your question that it should be something with fire, and if it's not fire, it's not a problem. And to be able to talk about electricity, I need to talk with you about another thing. There is
so I understand.
a huge.
Just so we understand this subject, are you talking about now, like if you're going to make toast, or are you going to make cook something in an air dryer, an air fryer? Is that what you're referring to now? Cooking with electricity?
Microwave.
Well, microwave,
what I'm referring with electricity, I'm not going even to so far to microwave. I'm talking about a normal pot that just connected to the electricity and make it hot. I am cooking with that every day now in China.
Hot pot, yeah.
A hot pot, yeah. A slow cooker.
Or oven. Or even oven.
Yeah, oven.
A slow cooker or even oven. The heat from electricity without with a real, not oven with a real fire, oven electricity, oven that works on electricity. So it's not clear at all that there is problem with that, but to be able to explain that, I need to go first to another subject of Bishul Goim before, because we need to talk about, after the, איך אומרים המהפכה התעשייתית? Somebody knows in English?
Say again?
המהפכה התעשייתית. Like 200 years ago, something like that, they start to have machines. They start to use heat, and from the heat to move things.
The industrial revolution.
The industrial revolution or something like that. So,
very good, Rich.
Thank you, Ruth. Yeah, Ruth, you're
the class valedictorian.
So before electricity, rabbis comes to the problem of, after the industrial revolution, of things that were cooked by a boiler. I think you call it a boiler. You have a boiler, and till nowadays, most factories I have been in, they are not cooking not with electricity and not with fire. They are cooking all the factory with a boiler. You know what I'm talking about? I will send you a video after. I will send you a video to the group after, from the factory I'm working right now, how it's worked. But all the factory is almost the same. The system works like that.
Rabbi,
there is a huge boiler that make hot water. The boiler can be from,
Isn't the boiler using electricity?
I'm not hearing you.
The boiler
before the time even. I'm explaining the evolution of the problem halachically, even before the time of electricity. Nowadays, boiler can be from, they can use electricity. Some factories use gas, and some factories till nowadays use coal. You call it like like real pechamim, like woods or stuff like that. But halachically, there is no difference. I will tell you why. They make hot water by the boiler, maybe with electricity or coals or gas, doesn't matter what. Now, you make a hot water. This hot water make steam, very hot steam, right? The steam goes in a pipe in all the factories, and you have huge pots that have 2 layers, and in the middle you have nothing. And when you open, you have like a wheel to open. When you open it, you open something that automatically all the steam from the one boiler goes between the 2 layers of the pot, and the pot will be very hot very quickly. And this is how they cook in most factories nowadays. Okay?
Double
At the
boiler.
factory. Thank you very much. Do you understood what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yes? Yes.
I
Good.
can't envision
Now-
it. What kind of stuff do they cook like that? That sounds like they're boiling it, not cooking it.
Almost everything. Almost everything they do like that. If you want examples of no, it doesn't matter what you do after. How you bring the heat to the thing you want to make hot is by bringing the steam, but the steam don't go to the food. The steam is just between the two layers of the thing. You know what I mean? You got what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like when
For
they
example-
sterilize for pickling. When they pickle, when they put jars, like a jar, making jams, to make it sterile, they use the same concept. The heating the food inside a vessel.
Yeah. So the rabbis got this question: if this way of cooking considered a problem or not. Again, it's cooked by the air, by the hot air or by the hot steam that comes from the boiler. Okay? And example of things they cook like that is almost everything I have been in. Now, for example, right now I'm making grape leaves with rice. So the rice, they cook like that. Last week I made mushrooms. They make it like that. When they want to make pickles, they cook them like that. When they want to cook when they want to cook even tuna, everything almost, they cook like that. So the rabbi got this question, and there is disagreement, but the Ben Ish Chai and the Rav Ovadia, they both hold that it's okay. But why? Okay, Rav Ovadia said if you cooked by a boiler, and also the Ben Ish Chai said like that, it's okay. Why? There is in halacha, I don't know the words, but I think we need what is מה השם שלו, העורך דין, רות, איך קוראים? ברח לי השם שלו פה, נו. בעל של לורנה. The husband of Lorena. Des, yeah,
Des.
your name bumped in my head. I don't know the words. You will tell me the words. In halacha, I'm pretty sure also in law, there is a huge difference if you, for example, if you murdered somebody directly, or if you did something that killed him. Halachically, for example,
Yes.
you have an option of killing somebody, and you have an option seeing somebody that was, somebody tied somebody and put them at the well or something, on the empty well. And you turn on the water few meters far away from that, and you knew that the water will go, and the water will fall to the well, and the well will be full, and he will be down, and he will choke. So you will get a punishment, but it's different than you really took a knife and you murder him. How do you say it?
Yeah.
In Hebrew, it's called grama and garmi. Like
If you
did something that did something.
If you intend to murder somebody, that's murder. But if you kill somebody that you don't intend to, that would be called culpable homicide. That's so you don't have the intention to do it, but you do it anyway.
And if you have the intention,
Sorry,
I'm not looking.
sorry, Rabbi, it's choppy
the
again.
difference of the intention. I'm looking for a word in Hebrew. It's a very hard Hebrew, but it's called something. Oh, sorry. I'm looking for a word in Hebrew. It's called different things. It's when you did something, but it's not your first action. You did an action, and this action led to a different thing.
Indirectly?
You know what I mean?
You mean
Indirect action, maybe.
The unintended consequences. Unintended consequence of your action.
Rabbi, do you have the intent?
Unintended consequences of your action. Okay. So now, the Rav Ovadia and the Ben Ish Chai I don't have right now. Okay. Again, I'm not looking for the difference of your attention and not attention. I'm looking for a direct action versus not your direct action. You did an action and this action led to something and this led to something and so on. Like when it's not your direct action. For example, our situation. We're talking about a guy cooked. A guy turned on the boiler. The boiler made hot water. Those hot water went to the pipe. The pipe went to the 2 layers. And this make the pot hot. So Arav Ovadia and the Ben Ishchai, they hold that if the goy cooked in problem of Bishul Goyim, okay? Arav Ovadia said, if a goy cooked on a way of boiler, meaning it's not his direct cooking, it's okay. You got what I mean?
Yeah, I understood what you said, but it sounds so strange to me, because when that goy turned on the boiler, the specific intention was for the boiler to heat the water to cook the food. That was what the plan was all along.
Yeah, so this is why I said that in Hebrew, the attention can make a huge difference, but it's not just the attention. In Hebrew, there is a different words for your first action, then your second action. It will be different. Even if you have the attention. Attention is another important thing, but the attention is a different thing. There is your direct action and not your direct action. When it's not your direct action, it's a different laws in the halakhic laws. Even for killing, it's called grama or garmi. When it's not your direct action, it's have also differences in Ilchot Shabbat. This is how Machon Tzomet, they make electricity things for people that has needed, because the halacha said that if you are sick, you're allowed to rely on this leniency of not your direct thing. So they make that it's not automatically, it's have time. This lead to that and this lead to that. You have time between. It's called grama in Hebrew. Or there is grama and garmi. It's a huge subject. But in short, there is a difference between your direct action and the second you did something that led to something. Again, if there is attention, it will make it much more severe when we go into laws of murdering and so on. But it's not the same if you did straight or not. It can be even the opposite way. I will give you an example of the opposite way to understand. Now I use it to a leniency when I'm telling you that if a goy turn on the boiler, he didn't cook. It's the second direction. I will give you an option that it will be the opposite, okay? The halacha said, if you slaughter, you need to slaughter. A human being need to slaughter, okay? If you made a machine that works from the water, okay, the water of a waterfall goes, the water of a river goes, and the water move a whale that move a knife, okay? And this knife slaughtered an animal. So the halacha said is not good, because the halacha, the Torah said, you need to have a person doing it, as like Natilat Yadayim, for example, need do it. A human being need to do it. Okay, I'm not going to the sources, but just to understand, this is the axiom. To the shchita to become kosher, you need to slaughter. Okay. Now, if the water did it, it's not good. Okay. If I moved whale and they move the knife, it will be okay. With the case, if you
We can't hear you anymore.
the machines.
Sorry, we can't hear you.
We've lost you, Rabbi.
the no.
Yeah, he's on. He's gone. He's there.
Yeah, I think we lost him.
I was saying, it's not your attention. I think he really meant intention. I don't know if you all got that.
Yes, you
Yeah.
did.
Yes.
And now when he's talking about a whale, I think it means a wheel. A wheel
Means
that's
a well. A well.
no. When he attaches a wheel to the water and a knife to the wheel to slaughter an animal, I think he meant like some kind of hydroelectric hydro. Like I'm not exactly sure how that machine would work.
Rabbi's back.
Oh, what's happening? I didn't do anything.
I can hear you.
We good?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Acceptable. Oh. I said to block the and water blocked. The water go move the machine slaughter. Not correct action is a big problem because we need action. Here is
We lost him again, I think.
Lost him.
Maybe his rice was ready.
Who's Ellie? Who's joined us on this thing? I don't know who Ellie is.
Eli.
Oh,
Oh, Eli. Got it.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
is it supposed to be the night where there's like gonna be a shower, like a meteor shower or something like that?
I think that was yesterday.
Oh,
I,
you missed it?
I saw a few shooting stars this morning. I couldn't sleep this morning, so at 3:30 this morning, I made myself some tea and took a muffin, and I went to sit in Heather Park to look at the stars.
And
It was beautiful. The moon was incredible and a very clear night, and I saw some shooting stars. But I
The
didn't know that
moon
this
has
specific.
been amazing the past few nights.
Yeah, it has been.
Meteor shower. What you saw was the meteor shower.
Really?
Yeah.
I definitely saw a few streaks. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you saw.
Was anybody else out there? Because Jupiter and Venus were almost on top of each other. They were two magnificent, bright, heavenly bodies, very, very close to each other.
And you could see that with your naked eye?
Yeah. They're both very big and very visible.
Amazing.
nothing tonight?
We can go check.
I missed that.
You should still be able to see Jupiter and Venus.
Eliahu said that now he need to go to work, so he sent the few minutes. He just left few minutes to say the end of the class. You have problems with the connection. He sent it in the group. Okay, he already sent it. You can see the end there.
Okay. Well, my takeaway from this class is any goy should not be cooking at all. There should be a law against that. No cooking.
Just
for
make
the
it
goy.
yourself. Then make everything
cooking for
yourself.
the
That's the
goy.
best way to be.
What do you think of that, Nora?
Well, I guess you can cook for yourself, but not for a Jew.
Can I tell a story before we all leave? Because it'll help to like explain in a practical, very practical way this class that we've just had.
Okay.
So you don't mind if I tell a story? So we were going to have a couple from Beit Midrash who are a Sephardi couple over for supper for Friday night. So I called them up to invite them, and they said, thank you very much. They accepted the invitation. And a few weeks later, just before this evening was meant to happen, the lady calls me up, and she says, we need to I have a few questions that I need to ask you. So I said, by all means, ask anything, because Lorena is not Jewish right now. So they said, we need to discuss Bishul Goy. And we need to understand how you're getting your food, how the food's going to be cooked, because, this is a problem. So I said, don't be embarrassed. Ask me any questions you want. I want you to be comfortable when you come eat in the house. So ask me whatever questions you want. So she says to me, okay, who does the cooking? I said, Lorena does all of the cooking, but I am always careful, and she is always careful, to have me switch on whatever electrical appliance we're cooking with. So if we're cooking with an oven, I switch on the oven, the stove, whatever we're doing, I'm switching on the appliance. So she says to me, that's very good. And then she says to me, but do you also stir? You know what stir, Ruth, when you stir the pot?
Yeah.
So I said, well, actually, I don't do that. But my understanding is that I don't need to do that. That's certainly the Ashkenazi way, is as long as the oven is turned on by the Jewish person, you don't have to worry about anything else. So she says to me, she doesn't think that's correct. Certainly with Sephardim, the Jew should stir as well. So I said, I don't think that that's the case, but who is an authority in our city that we can ask, and we'll clear this up. So we agreed that we'd speak to Sarah Berger. I'm not sure, Angela, you might not know who she is. She is Rabbi Berger's wife, and he's the rabbi at King David High School. So we agreed that whatever she said, that's how we'd handle it. So we call Rabbi Berger's wife, her name's Sarah, and I tell her exactly what happened. And I say, do I have to stir to make the food, not Bishul Goy? So she said she's never had anybody who's not Jewish cooking in her kitchen. She doesn't know the answer either, but her son is a mashgiach in bakeries around town, and she can find out from him what he does in those bakeries. So she called him up, and he told us that all that he has to do in the bakeries to make the bread kosher is to switch on the oven. There's no extra stirring of the pot or anything else that is required. So when I reported that back to our guest, then she was perfectly satisfied that the way we're doing things is fine.
Yeah, but maybe it can be different if it's in industry or stuff like that. There are differences. Like you should ask Rabbi Eliahu. You can do it in the group right now. Like he said, keep asking questions and stuff.
Well, let's ask you, Ruth, because it does seem that in this issue, Ashkenazi practice is a little different from Sephardic practice. So what we did anyway is we said that I don't think it's necessary for us to stir, but I will stir something just
I'm not
so
sure
that you can
because I
feel
remember
comfortable.
I spoke to Eliahu about it. I don't remember when, and you should ask him. I'm not sure, just to make sure.
Uh-huh. Well, if ever you came to eat at us, I will switch on the oven and I will stir your food.
But then my question is when the actual cooking starts, like from the time the oven is turned on, or from the chopping of the vegetable, like, or the preparation of all the ingredients. Isn't that part of cooking?
No. Cooking. You need to cook it.
Preparation. You just said it's preparation.
I guess you could say cooking involves heat or fire.
Yeah, that's
That's
why I
what-
think
yeah.
when we're talking about cooking with the electricity, because the electricity replicates the fire, it's still considered to me like the same. Like cooking on a stovetop, an electric stovetop instead of a gas
It has-
stovetop, right?
yeah.
It's having the
The
same
moment the
effect,
heat
the
is
same
introduced.
intention, so therefore the electricity is the same as the flame, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's the question.
I guess in the case of the boilers, it's different.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because of the steps involved in between, the going from the boiler to the pipes to the vessels and everything, and it's in I think Baruch said is a double boiler, so there's even in between in the pots, the steam is going in between, and so
Yeah.
seems like if there's lots of steps in between, that's why it's okay then for the boiler, which is different than the flame, right? So even though it might be coals you're using.
Yeah, although still, the logic escapes me because, like, when you have a barbecue, you're going to strike the match that lights the paper. Then the paper's going to catch the wood on fire. Then the wood's going to catch
Yeah.
the coal on
I
fire.
think the
You're
moment-
going to cook on the coal. But your intention from striking the match right in the beginning was to get those coals on fire. And it's the same true with this boiler. When you switch on that thing, you know it's going to be
the
a
direct
complicated-
action is it changes the food.
Yeah, because you're putting the flame on the flame right into the coals, whereas it's different from the boiler going from the flame of the boiler to the coals from the boiler to the pipes to the vessel, and that's what's cooking. So there's so many steps involved in between that it kind of makes it irrelevant, where it's the more direct action of the barbecue, and you're placing the flame onto the coals directly, right? You're not giving somebody else a paper and they're giving it to another paper and lighting that on fire and taking that, right? So it's not multiple steps involved in between. You're putting that fire right into the coals I know barbecue, I mean. Yeah. So it's the steps. I think that's what he was really trying to
But it
emphasize, was the
sounded like
steps
from
involved in
his-
between.
But he said like the definition of cooking has changed over time. What was not allowed before or what was allowed before is not allowed now.
Well, yeah, and he
Because I
also
think
said that it's due
it's
to your
not about the
culture
fire,
too
it's
as
the
well,
heat.
right? So
Mm.
yeah, like what is considered cooking in your culture and things like that. Like smoking, I would consider that cooking, but apparently that's not cooking. So because to me, cooking is any way that you're transforming the food from what it is raw to something else, like that's cooking to me. So that's the nuances of that is very interesting, I think.
Yeah, interesting.
Except,
All right.
I don't understand why it's different for something that you can eat raw. You're still cooking it. That is very confusing.
I mean, maybe it's different if you'd add something to it, right? Like
vinegar, for example. You vinegar.
right, you wouldn't drink
cooking the
vinegar,
food, or
right?
you
So if you
just-
put tomatoes with vinegar, that would be different, I think, than yeah, then just cooking the tomatoes. I think when he says cook tomatoes, he's not talking about like a dish of tomatoes. I think he's just talking about cooking the tomatoes, right? Just like that.
Well, all right.
Anyway,
So-
interesting class, everybody. Thank you. and
Very
thank
interesting
you.
class. Good to
Glad-
talk about it too afterwards a little. I love having the discussions afterwards.
Interesting
Yeah.
questions, Des and Lorena. And
Yeah, definitely some interesting questions.
Yeah.
Interesting things to think about, and I love it. I love it.
yes. Okay, see
All
you
right.
next
See you guys.
Good
See you guys
night.
next week.
You bet. I hope it's in person next week.
Yeah, I hope
Me
so.
too, but
Who's gonna be
it's,
cooking? Not the goy.
not us.
Bye.
We get to just enjoy the food.
Bye.
I'll stir if you
Bye,
cook.
Angela. Bye, Nora.
Bye.
Good night.